So my infographic was on the community of sports gambling. Um, Now this may sound like a funny thing to have a discourse community on, but um, it definitely is a hobby of many, and um, especially if you're interested in sports, this is definitely something that I think can mean a lot to people, and I think you could be just as passionate about this as you would with any other community. So, what makes someone a fan of sports gambling? Like I said on the first slide, the love of sports, obviously, and then also a competitive drive or spirit. I think a lot of this is lost when you have people that grow up playing sports and they can't make it to the next levels. This is definitely somewhere where you can have that competition, besides like a rec league or something. And then also you need knowledge on all major sports and leagues to even dive into the uh, actual specifics of everything. And then also in regards to how you spend your money, because people do have problems. People do have obsessions like any other community. So smart and aggressive approach, and when to spend your money, and when to take a chance, and how to balance everything. Um, then being able to keep up with current players' teams and stats throughout the season, even if it isn't a team that you're necessarily passionate about or have a following for. And this is how to be literate. I know that I shouldn't be as wordy on these slides, but to kind of briefly explain this, I had to be a little bit. Um, so, besides knowing about actual sports, you must know the actual betting lingo in order to properly place a bet, because you can't just say, "Hey, I think this team's going to win." You have to understand the actual terminology. So they have three options. They have you could take the spread, money line, or the total, which basically means you're betting on the under over. And so the line for the under or over, as you can see here, is 48 and a half. So then if you think that it's over, if both teams in total are going to score over 48 and a half, you take the over, obviously, and then vice versa for the under. Um, and for my example, I did it for the Super Bowl. Um, so then money line would mean that you would just take that team to win. But obviously, with the spread, if you took the team to win, just to win, you would lose less money. I mean, you would win less money because you're not taking them to win by a certain amount of points. Whereas if you took the underdog and you took them to full out win, you actually win more. That's why the plus 166 as opposed to minus 108 is there. So. And then this is how someone would know they're literate. Being able to bet on any main sport, obviously, like how I've been saying, and then understand the different ways to place a bet besides the ones I described in a straight bet. These can include parlays, multi-leg parlays, under-over bets, like kind of like how I said in the last slide, and player points and live lines. So live lines is basically making a bet when the game's already started. Player points are for certain props if you think you're going to score a certain amount of points. Or anything specifically, and then also knowing the plus minus system, which calculates what your odds are and determines how much money you can win. So, like I said here, for example, I have a multi-leg parlay here, and it is plus, let's just say to make it even, it's plus 900, so it's $1 to win $9. So then you basically use that system to calculate how much you would win, depending on how much you bet. And then what you need to be literate is honestly just the ability to pay attention and keep up with scores and injuries and stat lines throughout the seasons. And, if you already have a passion for that and you love watching sports, then you won't need much. And this is just something that you can take with you and kind of grow a hobby for. So